do, players? This is the homie C-Rod, and today I have a video for you beginners out there, or the players out there that are trying to get into Dragon Ball Super card game. And I'm here to give you guys, a little advice on how to pick a deck for, if you're trying to start off with the game and you don't want to get overwhelmed, if you don't want to get overwhelmed. Nah, I'm just kidding. Bruh. But yeah. This video right here, I'm gonna go over some decks that are gonna be easy for you to pick up, and you're gonna get some wins in with these decks. And they're not that difficult to learn, master, and some of these decks have won and topped multiple regionals, and they're super simple to understand. Obviously, you could add specific engines. When I mean by engines, I mean you could add specific cards to the deck that make the deck slightly more explosive, but a lot more critical thinking has to be involved if you were to add specific cards to these decks. So I'm gonna start it off I'm gonna start off by going with one leader from each different color, because in Dragon Ball Super card game we have multiple different colors, and each color represents a different way of playing this game. So for red is more aggressive type of play style. So if you're an aggressive player, if you feel like you're the one that just likes attacking, I would go more with the red. If you're more of a control type of player where you like controlling the situation and a little bit more defensive, I would pick the blue. And then if you're more of a I like destroying my opponent's hand and destroying the field and having control with the hand and the field, I would go with the green. And if you're more into more of a control tempo type of player, I would go with the yellow as well, because yellow is more of that. And then obviously there's the final color, which is black, and that's for it has a diverse, that kind of has a little bit of everything. And let's start it off with one of my favorite colors, which is the red. So we're gonna start off with the red leader, and we got right there Pan. As you guys can see, Pan is freaking good. And Pan is so good because she has been topping multiple regionals. What I mean by regionals, there are these big tournaments for Dragon Ball Super card game, some of them having over 500 players, because this game is getting poppin'. And Pan has always, since it came out, there's always been 1 or 2, 3 people out there that managed to get the leader and flourish it all the way to the top rankings in the tournaments. And the Pan player is not that hard to play. The Pan leader is not that hard to play. So what she does is she gives a 5k boost power to any battle card you play. And if that power exceeds 20,000 or 20,000 or more, you get to draw a card. And for that ability, you're going to be playing a bunch of, battle cards that when you play it, it exceeds that power, so you can get off the auto. In Dragon Ball Super card game, in order to make a very successful deck, you got to get your leader, which is Pan right now at the moment, and you got to kind of abuse the leader's effect to get the most out of your deck. Honestly, just changing the leader changes an entire deck. So Pan, what you want to do, long story short, is you want to protect your life and then play your heavy battle cards, get that effect going of drawing a card, and eventually, if it's all going downhill and you can't kill your opponents with your own battle cards by attacking, you got this little play called Zeno. And if you guys know Dragon Ball Super, Zeno is the king of everything, and he just obliterates all the universes. So what he does is when he comes into the field, he obliterates not only the hand, the field as well, and he just resets everything, making you and your opponent draw 5. And then from there on, your leader is going to be taking Storm, because you're going to be plussing more. What I mean by plussing is you're going to have way more cards in your hand than onto your opponent, because since you reset the field, every time you play something, you're going to draw, and your opponent's going to be forced to defend themselves. So that's how you play the Pan leader. So now moving on to the next color, which is blue. And the easiest blue leader to get your mind across, and the easiest one to play in my opinion, and the one that's actually winning, this deck is winning like crazy, happens to go to Janemba. Janemba, this fat little thing that turns into the demon. This Janemba right here is so good, because and so easy to comprehend your mind around, because of the fact that, you know, what he does is every time he attacks, your opponent's forced to drop 2 cards from the top of their deck and you draw a card. So the method of winning with this Janemba deck is you want to destroy your opponent's deck. Yup, you want to destroy your opponent's deck, because in Dragon Ball Super card game, when your deck is at 0 and there's no more cards for you to draw, that counts as an automatic loss. So for that reason, your Janemba leader is, every time you're gonna want to keep attacking with your Janemba leader, attack. Every time he attacks, your opponent's forced to like destroy their deck, top two, and then you got a bunch of cards that protect your life. So this is more like a stall control deck. You gotta just defend. You know, take the punches, like, you know, dodge, weave, like boom, like Goku does, or like Manny Pacquiao, like just dodge and weave like Mayweather, and then protect yourself with super combos, and then negate, keep destroying the deck, and then play your Janembas, which help you not only add pressure to your opponent by keeping in like attacking, you also destroy the deck as well when they come into play. So you just got to destroy your opponent's deck, and then when they have nothing to draw, you automatically win. Easy as that. All you do is just defend and destroy the deck. Alright, now moving on to the next color, which is the green. And this deck right here is called the Androids. Before, the Androids were much easier to play and much easier to win with, because you were able to run 4 of Lifeform Cell, which is the, you know, the ugly first form cell that comes into the you know, comes into the past to absorb the androids. So with this deck, you pretty much do the same thing. You play that cell, and then you have to have the 17 and then have the 18 in your hand, and you absorb them, right? Just like in the anime, you absorb the 17, then you go into your second form, and then you absorb the 18, and then you go into the final perfection. I am perfection. I am perfection. Like that wrestler, WWE. But yeah, you go into your perfection cell, and then when he does is he destroys your opponent's hand, leaving your opponent with only 3 cards in their hand. And after that, honestly, you pretty much win. The only downside now is that you're only allowed to run 1 life form cell, because I guess Bandai realized that that little engine was completely broken. Like, it was broken, because it would just destroy every deck. I bet you Bandai in their headquarters was like, oh, this is a cool deck idea that we can make for the card game. And then there was that guy in the back like, what about Cell? And then they're like, oh, you're right, it's not gonna work anymore because of Cell. So they ended up just chopping Cell's tail off, and you can only run 1. But it's still a very easy deck to comprehend, and any player that, you know, starts off, I would recommend that one. You know, I know a bunch of players like playing Cell when they first start off, because you're able to like win a lot by just doing the Cell absorption. And so next we got the yellow. Okay, for the yellow, I got this beast right here. Boom. This is the most expensive deck you got, but it's one of the most easiest decks to comprehend, and one of the most easiest decks to actually play, guys. So what you do is you're gonna be playing Frieza. You're not gonna attack your opponent at all, so you don't have to even break your head on attacking. All you do is just use the Frieza effect, which is you drop a Universe 7 member and you draw 2 cards, and then you just keep doing that. Every turn you throw out an energy, you try to like make plays, and you start searching. So this is like a searcher deck. So Frieza, you know, like in the anime, you need Goku and Frieza to take down your opponent Jiren. So in the card game, it's the same thing. You need Goku, and you need the Victory Strike Goku, which I don't know if a lot of people could afford, but you don't even need the Victory Strike to play this deck. You could just run it with the OG Ultra Instinct Goku, not the Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, and it still does a lot of pressure. You can run the Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku with the Frieza, and the deck does fairly good as well. You don't need the Victory Strike Mastered Ultra Instinct $500 card, whatever, however much it costs. It doesn't stop going up in price. But yeah, you pretty much don't attack your opponent. You just drop your Universe 7s, draw 2, you play cards to search out more Universe 7s until you get the Ultra Instinct play, and then you go into your Ultra Instinct play, and then you kill your opponent with the Victory Strike, or you kill your opponent with Ultra Instinct Goku, triple attack, critical hit, or you play the, Frieza that nullifies your opponent and pretty much forces them to kill themselves. So that's that. And the final deck that I'm gonna be talking about, that's pretty easy to understand and very good for beginners, it's this card right here, the Announcer. And I went with the Announcer for the black cards because, it's actually winning a bunch of tournaments. It's really good, and it's very easy to understand, and it's a lot of fun to play as well, because you're going to be able to, draw a lot, defend a lot, and this deck actually got top at regionals. It got, second place. It lost just under the Frieza, the Victory Strike Frieza, but it's still very, very good. So what you do with this deck is you play your World Martial Arts tournament cards from every generation, and they allow you to draw like crazy. So what you do is you defend, you draw with your your Announcer, which is a counter, and he lets you draw, and then you have multiple counters that are World Tournament as well, and then your leader gives them a boost. So then you play, you defend, then you aggro them, you put pressure on with the Goku and Oob World Martial Arts, and then after that, if they can get the job done, you bring out, the Goku and Majin Vegeta from the World Martial Arts. And then if they don't get the job done, you go with the secret rare, which is the final episode of Dragon Ball Z, and they finish off your opponent. And that's how you play this deck. It's not that hard to understand. And those are the, the decks that I would recommend to a brand new player if you're starting off today in 2019 at this very moment. Obviously, there's going to be the new cards coming out, Destroyer King, so subscribe if you guys have not subscribed, because we're going to be, making deck profiles and whatnot for you guys that don't have time to really invest in making and thinking about what to do. We got you guys covered, man. We got the super decks out here. So that's going to be it. Like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully this helped you out. Likes actually do help out our channel, so if you guys could just be kind enough to give us a little like, that would be awesome. And like we always say, y'all stay super.